Number 1. Hey everyone, I have to share something that happened to me recently while hiking with my dog Bailey. It was one of the scariest nights of my life, and I need to get it off my chest. Last week, I decided to go on a night hike in a dense forest near my town. Bailey, my faithful Labrador, was thrilled as always to join me on my adventures. The moon was full, casting an eerie glow through the trees, creating strange shadows that seemed to dance as we walked along the winding trail. As we ventured deeper into the forest, the sound of civilization faded away, replaced by the rustling of leaves and the occasional hoot of an owl in the distance. Bailey trotted ahead and her tail wagging happily. But I couldn't shake a sense of unease that had been growing since we entered the woods. About an hour into our hike, we came across a clearing with an old, abandoned cabin nestled among the trees. The cabin looked like something out of a horror movie, its windows boarded up, the roof sagging with age, and the vines creeping up the walls. Despite the creepy appearance, I was drawn to explore it, curiosity overpowering my growing unease. Bailey hesitated at the edge of the clearing, her ears perked up and her body tensed. I patted her gently to reassure her before cautiously approaching the cabin. The air around the cabin felt thick and heavy, as we had stumbled upon something that we didn't want to be disturbed. As we got closer, I noticed strange symbols carved into the door and its frame, symbols that I couldn't recognize, but that sent a chill down my spine. Suddenly, the front door cracked open slightly, swaying in the gentle breeze, inviting us inside. Against my better judgment, I stepped across the threshold, Bailey following closely behind me. Inside, the cabin was eerily quiet, except for the soft drip of water somewhere in the darkness. The moonlight filtering through the cracks in the walls, casting a long, twisted shadows on the dusty floorboards. I could feel eyes on us, watching from the darkness, but every time I turned to look, there was nothing. Bailey began to growl softly, her fur bristling as we reached what seems to be the main room. I strained my eyes to see through the glow, heart pounding in my chest. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the cabin, followed by the sound of footsteps rushing towards us. Panic surged through me as I grabbed Bailey's collar and bolted toward the door. Behind us, I heard guttural voices whispering in a language I couldn't understand. Growing louder with each step we took, I stumbled over a fallen debris, the cabin seeming to twist and turn around us as if it's trying to keep us trapped. We burst out into the clearing, the night air hitting me like a physical force. I didn't dare to look back, afraid of what I might be pursuing us. Bailey's leash slipped from my hand and she dashed ahead, barking wildly into the night. I followed her blindly, adrenaline surging me to run faster than I ever had before. Branches clawed at my skin, and roots threatened to trip me with every step. The forest seemed to close in around us, a maze of darkness and uncertainty. I could still hear the voice behind us, their malevolent whispers haunting my every thought. Just as I thought we couldn't run any further, we stumbled upon a familiar trailer mark. Relief flooded through me as we sprinted towards safety, the voices fading into the distance behind us. We didn't stop until we reached my car, panting and shaking with fear. I haven't been able to sleep properly since that night. The image of the cabin and the voices that pursued us haunted my dreams, leaving me restless and anxious. Bailey has been unusually quiet, sticking close to me as if she sensing my unease. If anyone has encountered something familiar or has any advice, please reach out. I'm still trying to make sense of what happened and find some semblance of peace. Until then, stay safe out there, trust your instincts when exploring the unknown. Hello, guys. If you like this kind of stories and want to hear more, please consider subscribing to this channel and check out my other videos and like them and share them. Now, back to the stories. Number 2. Hello everyone. I need to share something that happened to me recently while hiking with my dog, Mark. It was honestly the scariest experience of my life, and I feel like I need to get it off my chest. Last Saturday, I decided to go on a hiking in a remote forest near my town. Mark, my loyal German Shepherd, was excited as always to explore new trails with me. The weather was perfect, sunny but not too hot. With a gentle breeze rustling the leaves, the trail started off wide and well marked, surrounded by tall trees that cast dappled shadows on the ground. About an hour into our hike, we came across a fork in the trail that led deeper into the woods. Mark, being his curious self, started to sniff around, clearly interested in the path less traveled. I trusted his instincts, so we ventured down the narrower trail. The farther we went, the quieter it became, the only occasional chirp of bird breaking the silence. Suddenly, Mark stopped dead in his tracks. His ears perked up, his body began to tense. I looked around, trying to see what caught his attention, but everything seemed normal. Then I heard it, a faint rustling in the bushes off to our right. I called out, thinking maybe it was just a small animal, but there was no response. Mark began to growl softly, his hair raised, which sent shivers down my spine, and my hands began to shake. Feeling uneasily, I decided it was best to turn back and go. As we retraced our steps, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. Every now and then, I thought I got a glimpse of a movement out of the corner of my eye. But whenever I looked directly back, there was nothing there. The forest seemed to close in around us, the once friendly trees now looming ominously overhead. Just when I thought we were in the clear, we heard it. A low, guttural growl that made my blood run cold. Mark went into full protective mode, positioning himself between me and the direction of the sound. I scanned the area, my heart pounding, trying to see where the growl had come from. That's when I saw them, two glowing eyes staring at us from the shadow behind the tree. I froze, fear gripping my chest like a vice. The eyes seemed to be moving closer, and I could make out a silhouette of a large, tall figure. It was unlike anything I had ever seen before, tall and humanoid, but with an unnatural posture, unnerving stillness. Mark barked loudly, his warning echoing through the trees, but the figure didn't even flinch. I knew we had to get out from there, so I slowly started to backing away, keeping my eyes locked on the figure. Mark stayed close by my side, his growls becoming more urgent. Just as I turned to run, the figure let out a chilling screech that echoed through the entire forest. It was a sound straight out of a nightmare, high pitched and filled with horror. We sprinted down the trail, adrenaline pumping, branches whipping past us. I didn't dare to look back, afraid of what I might see. The forest seemed to blur around us. We raced toward the safety of the main trail. I could hear heavy footsteps behind us, getting closer with each second. It felt like we were being pursued by something primal and restless. Just as I thought we couldn't run any further, we burst out to the main trail. Gasping for breath, I risked a glance behind us, but there was nothing there. The forest was eerily quiet again, as if whatever had been chasing us had vanished into thin air. Mark and I collapsed on the ground, shaking with a mixture of fear and relief. I haven't been able to stop thinking about that day since it happened. What was that figure? What did it want? And why we were targeted? I have been searching online for similar encounters but haven't found anything that matches what we experienced. It's like whatever it was exists only in that secluded part of the woods. I don't know if I'll ever go back to a hiking in the woods again. The thought of the encountering that figure or whatever it was filling me with a dread unlike anything I ever known. So guys, if you are going on a hike in the woods, please be careful about your surroundings and always trust your guts. Hello guys, I hope you like the stories. If you like them, please consider subscribing, like and share, and also check out other videos on this channel. And if you have any suggestions, any improvements I need to make in these videos and on my channel, please post them in the comment section. So till next time, this is Malayali Wendigo. Bye.